What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about the top 5 most heavily shorted EV stocks in the market as of right now. So I want to go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. And this time around, I'm actually going to be excluding any stocks below a 100 mil market cap. Someone did suggest this in my last video, and honestly, I think it's a very good idea because there's a lot of EVs that are struggling operationally, and many of them are going down the whole reverse stock split route. And yeah, I think in general it's good to kind of exclude that, look at a lot of the, I don't mean to say credible companies, but a lot of the larger companies. But getting right to it though, this is all the list right here, so pretty much everything above the go row or whatever it is right there. So again, just to be aware of that. So starting off with stock number 5, Polestar, sitting at $1.10, did go down 5.98 on Friday. Over the last 6 months, up 28.44. So gaining some pretty good momentum. Right now, 9.39% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 35.92 million shares. This number right here is what shorts did on Friday. So they did return 712,000 shares. Cost to borrow average 19.33. Utilization is 92.57. And then short score, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is sitting at 86.05. Shorts kind of haven't been doing overly too much, but since January, mid-January, they have been increasing, and I think that's more linked to larger fears in the broader market, not necessarily linked to Polestar. But through IBKR, it does indicate roughly around 2.7 million shares is available to be shorted. And the reason why I bring that up is sometimes stocks, when they're limited supply, you could see some corresponding buying because big money like BlackRock and so forth love to buy those types of stocks just to lend out. So again, that's why I'm bringing it up. But 2.7 million, there's a lot of shares there, so you won't see any buying for that. But moving on to stock number 4, Hyllion, sitting at $1.90. Over the last 1 year, it is up 38.69%. Over the last 6 months, starting to pull back, lose a little bit of momentum, down 5.94. Some of the companies I'm going to be talking on do have their earnings coming up. I know these videos are strictly for essentially like what is happening from shorts. I don't bring up much operational updates. So they do have their earnings on a side note on the 25th. That's the current estimates on this, just be aware of. But 10.83% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 12.96 million shares. Shorts on Friday did return 472,000 shares. Cost to borrow average 0.82. That is an annual rate, not a daily rate. Just be aware. But aside from that, one thing I do want to draw your attention to is shares on loan, 10.6 million, but yet there is 12.96 million shares overall are being shorted. Math isn't mathing. This stock definitely does have its fair share of naked shorting. So just again, a good FYI. So this is stock number 4. Moving on to stock number 3, you have NIO, sitting at $4.44, up 1.6% on Friday. So despite the bloodbath, NIO did do fairly well. So they add some operational updates and also good money supply data from China. But over the last 1 year though, still lackluster, down 25.63%. And then over the last 6 months, gaining a little bit of momentum, up 11.28. Right now, 11.32% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 151.21 million shares. Shorts returned 21,000 shares on Friday. Short score 76.89. Utilization is 100%. And then as well, just generally, shorts haven't been doing overly too much with this. So they kind of returned a little bit from 12% to where it is now, but still nothing crazy significant. They've been very active in the past, so I think they're just waiting for some larger macro cracks to really start doubling down. Hopefully that doesn't occur and they do continue to kind of overall return. So let me know your thoughts on that. Through IBKR, does indicate roughly around 1.6 million shares is available to be shorted. So this is your stock number 3. Moving on to stock number 2, you have Rivian. Just had their earnings, did go down 4.7%, sitting at $12.97. Over the last 1 year, down 15.72. Then over the last 6 months, down 0.77%. and 18.96% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 141.05 million shares. Shorts did increase 965,000 shares. Utilization 69.07. Short score is 75.43. So definitely something to keep in mind. Shorts, I have a weird feeling that shorts were anticipating a, like, I don't know, looking, you can always analyze this leading into an earnings just to see what they were kind of anticipating, and shorts did increase. So I feel like they did, as you can kind of see right there, it kind of shows that they were anticipating a miss, but it wasn't anything crazy. So it's been hovering around that 18-19% range since it looks like beginning of February. So again, shorts do equate to roughly $1.91 billion. So quite a lot of money is in Rivian through shorts, but through IBKR does indicate roughly around 750,000 shares is available to be shorted. So this stock is where you could see some corresponding buying potentially if push comes to shove, but the cost to borrow is very, very low with this. So again, it's cheap to borrow a lot of EV stocks, and this is why you see a lot of stocks heavily shorted. So this is your stock number 2. And then moving on to stock number 1, you have Lucid. So on Friday, it did go down 7.55%, sitting at 306. Over the last 1 year, down 17.3%, and then over the last 6 months, down 14.53. So this one, the momentum definitely is dying a little bit, but I think Friday there was a lot of larger macro fear, increasing fear associated to inflation, plus it was reacting to Rivian's earnings. But Lucid does have earnings coming up, and that is on the 25th. I have a whole Lucid dedicated channel, so if you want to kind of listen into the earnings, definitely pop over there and take a look. I'll be live streaming it and all the fun jazz. But 19.56% of the free float is being shorted. It works out to be 233.02 million shares overall are being shorted. 1.64 million shares on Friday were increased. So it's kind of interesting to see. So the top 2 most heavily shorted stocks, EV stocks, shorts were increasing. Everything else, shorts were returning. So it's kind of interesting to analyze, but short score 72.22 is that. So again, higher to the number. And just generally, aside from Friday, shorts have been returning Lucid. So I feel like they feel there's a little bit more upside. But then again, I think based on Friday, they were just reacting to, like I said, just broader fears in Rivian. But through IBKR, it does indicate in excess of 10 million shares. So you won't be seeing any buying because there's a ton of shares out there. And so yeah, let me know your viewpoint on these stocks. Do you think that there is still hope for the EV sector, or do you think that with inflation fears and also under a Trump administration that EVs are going to be just like suppressed? What's your general thoughts on all that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing, if you're looking for some kick-ass buy signals, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.